Here with us is trial attorney and legal analyst Michelle Thomas. Michelle, good morning. Thank you for joining.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course. There were quite a few delays, but Nick Reiner will now be arraigned in Los Angeles on Monday. What can we expect in court?
You know, the arraignment is where he will be formally read his charges, and he's expected to enter a plea, most likely a not guilty plea. So that will be the first time that we hear directly from him that he is going to plead not guilty. And then after that, a series of pretrial motions and discovery deadlines and so forth will proceed.
A judge postponed Reiner's arraignment last month after his high-profile attorney, Alan Jackson, resigned. On his way out, and I remember this, Jackson said Reiner was not guilty of murder, and then he quit. As a trial lawyer, why speak on a client's innocence or guilt after resigning from the case?
Well, you still have an obligation, certainly, to protect the interests of a client or a former client. And so he certainly did his due diligence. He said they investigated the case, and he wanted to make sure that he was not prejudicing the defendant's case by exiting at that time.
Ah, okay, that actually does explain it. Thank you for that. Nick Reiner and his dad publicly discussed the struggles with addiction and mental health that Nick had. He has not entered a plea for the murder of his parents. If the defense centered around mental health, could they make the case for an insanity plea here?
They are actually going to center Nick Reiner's mental health struggles and certainly use that most likely as a defense. It is a little too early in the process to know exactly what their strategy will be because we're just entering into the arraignment phase on Monday. However, you certainly can expect them to plead some sort of mental health impairment or insanity.
Like I mentioned, Nick Reiner's attorney resigned. He will now be represented by a court-appointed public defender. Can you walk us through what comes next?
Sure. So certainly every defendant has the right to either select private counsel or be appointed counsel. So in this case, because the Alan Jackson withdrew, he is moving forward with the public defender. The public defender has had an opportunity now to get brought up to speed as far as there was a delay, a postponement of the arraignment, which was supposed to previously occur. So now he's been able to strategize most likely with his new team, public defenders, in order to prepare to move forward.
Now we have to turn to another high-profile case. Lawyers for the man charged with killing Charlie Kirk are urging the removal of a Utah prosecutor, claiming it's a conflict of interest. Just for our viewers, the prosecutor's daughter attended the rally where Kirk was killed. So, Michelle, explain that to me. Does the defense have enough cause to have him removed?
Well, there's always a concern whenever there's a personal interest or someone is personally invested, the prosecution's team, that there's going to be some sort of prejudice to the defendant. And so I think the defense counsel is making the right choice by trying to have that attorney removed in order to preserve and protect his client's rights. You don't want there to be a conflict of interest, whether it's of a personal nature or professional one, when there's something so critical on the line, such as the life of this defendant.
Erica Kirk, that's Kirk's widow, of course, and the prosecution have urged the proceedings to remain public. The defense team is asking the judge to block the graphic video of the shooting from being shown in court. Most people, whether they wanted to or not, were exposed to that video a few months ago. Talk to me about the reasoning behind this from the defense.
You know, this is the tension that every, I think, modern criminal trial has to face whenever there's video footage. The court has to decide whether the value of that footage is more prejudicial to the defendant or whether it's going to be more beneficial to the jury pool. So essentially the issue is whether that video is going to inform the jury or inflame them because of the emotional nature of it. The prosecution is going to say it's direct evidence. That's the best evidence that they have to support the case. But the defense is going to argue that the emotional pull and watching the actual shooting is going to have such a triggering effect on the jury that he could be convicted on that alone and not the totality of the evidence.
Michelle, the question now, what comes next?
Well, with respect to the video, the court is going to determine whether, again, the prejudicial value outweighs the probative value. And if it is allowed in, then that is a strong win for the prosecution early in this phase. If it's excluded, then that's a strong win for the defense. And the courts will continue with pretrial motions and so forth moving forward to trial.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.